Hello everybody, UFC 223 or 223 is on the horizon. Guys, UFC 223 is shaping up to be completely opposite from what it was planned. Okay, maybe not completely opposite, just the main event, which features Khabib Nurmagomedov, got it, versus Max Holloway. We'll just call him Khabib for today. But this is going to be for the legit 155-pound title. And I got to tell you, we were supposed to have Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. Of course, Tony Ferguson was considered, well, he was the interim UFC lightweight champion at 155. We got the UFC featherweight champion, Max Holloway, coming up in weight. We've never seen, well, I don't know if he's ever fought in this weight class, but I don't think we've seen him at this weight. But anytime somebody goes up, I mean, we've seen other fighters, we've seen RDA, Rafael Dos Anjos. We've seen Donald Cerrone is a really good example as well, who was at 155, went up to welterweight and was kicking ass. But also RDA, he also went up and he's been kicking some butt at welterweight as well. So is the same thing going to happen for Max Holloway? I mean, here's a guy, and this is kind of, let's just touch on the fact that Conor McGregor has done this already before, where he was the featherweight king after he knocked out Jose Aldo in how many seconds it was. Was it 35 or 45 seconds? And then he went up in weight to face Eddie Alvarez in New York and beat Eddie Alvarez. So he was the first ever double champion in UFC history. No one had ever held two belts at one time, and he became the first. But then he never defended either belt, and he's been absent since. So they're saying that there's a possibility that he's going to come back, and he's probably going to face the winner of these two guys. But this is for the legit 155-pound championship, because Conor never came back. They're taking it away from him, and whoever wins this fight will become the lightweight champion, the new UFC lightweight champion. Will it be Khabib? I mean, in my opinion, guys, this guy's like the Fedor of a smaller Fedor, and I don't know. I mean, and Fedor had some great ground and pound in his day. So I mean, in a lot, there's a lot of comparisons between the two. But and they're both from Russia, of course. Khabib's made a big name for himself, not only in Russia but also here in the USA, because he's such an exciting fighter, and he's got seriously the very most exciting, I'll even dare say better than Fedor, when it comes to ground and pound. A lot of fans who don't like, or a lot of people who don't like MMA, it's usually because they don't like to see stuff that happens on the ground, especially when there's a lot of lay and pray and there's not that much action. This guy is total nonstop action when he gets on the ground. I mean, he makes every shot counts. He's always trying to advance, but mainly he's trying to just put some dents in your head and in your body. This guy's a massive, crazy, total destruction of force. I meant force of total destruction. But and a lot of people are counting him to win. I mean, he's rolled around with Daniel Cormier. He's wrestled bears. That's how he kind of prepared himself, I guess. He's a big-time wrestler, super strong already at this weight class. Max Holloway has never been taken down in the UFC, is what I had heard recently, and he's on a very big winning streak. Has he ever fought anybody like Khabib? Probably not. I think that these two guys are going to make for a very exciting fight. I'm even more excited for this fight than I was for Tony Ferguson. And the only reason is because Tony Ferguson was taken down by Kevin Lee. So a lot of people were saying Khabib was going to take down Tony Ferguson like nothing. And if he was able to get that position that Kevin Lee got on, which was the full mount, it was going to be absolutely over for Tony Ferguson. So in my opinion, I think this is a more interesting fight. I think Max Holloway is a better striker than Tony Ferguson. I think he's even got, he does have some jiu-jitsu as well, but he's never been taken down. I mean, I know he's probably never fought anybody like Khabib, the monster that Khabib is, but this should be a hell of a fight, guys. We have a bunch of other fights as well. We have Rose Namajunas versus Joanna. Forget about even trying to say that name. If you could tell, I couldn't say Khabib's name. What makes you think I'm gonna be able to say Joanna Jedrzejczyk? Yeah, see what I mean? But it's going to be the rematch for the 115-pound championship, I guess, which I think is considered strawweight division for these guys. Joanna was saying, hey, I'm the boogie woman. The boogie woman is coming. The boogie woman is coming, she said. She said, you better watch out, Rose, because the boogie woman is coming, she said. She kept on saying that. And, I mean, she definitely looks like the boogie woman. And you know, she put a lot of fear in a lot of other female fighters' hearts, very much like Ronda Rousey. And Ronda Rousey would always beat him in a minute, you know, except Joanna would have to, she was more of a punisher. I mean, she would beat the hell out of all the other opponents. Has her time come up? I don't think so. I think she's still a very good fighter. There was also, she was saying that it was the weight cut issue that threw her off for the first fight. But Rose Namajunas, she looked excellent. And I'm not just saying excellent as far as her features, because a lot of people think she's model-like or model, you know, she's definitely like a model and she's super gorgeous and this and that. And I mean, I'm not saying she's not. She's got a shaved head. But I mean, and that's she's a beauty, but she's also a beast. And she trains with, of course, she trains with her boyfriend, what is his name? Of course, the big time kickboxer guy. Come on, Chick Congo and Pat Barry. Pat Barry. She trains with Pat Barry. This is uncensored, unfiltered, uncut, and unwatched until now. And I'm not gonna mess. If I do mess up, you might catch me messing up. I can't go back and edit this, but I will correct myself, my friends. And you can correct me if you want to. But look, Rose Namajunas trains with Pat Barry. Yeah, you know, maybe I've been punched too much in the head a few times as well. But she's got some awesome kickboxing, great striking. Very good on the ground, great ground control. I mean, she can take people down, she can control them, good ground and pound as well. Joanna's more of a striker. Her ground is pretty good as well. But I think, man, I really don't think the weight cut was an issue. I mean, obviously, you know, who am I to say, right? But that was Joanna's excuse. And I think Rose is going to beat down on her again. I really do. Rose Namajunas is like, she grew like a rose from concrete, you know, like Tupac Shakur. And she, you know, that's why she's Thug Rose, you know. But she's gonna win. I think she's gonna win again, and probably by TKO. Maybe not first round, but maybe second round. We also got, I don't know, Renato Moicano versus Calvin Kattar. Sorry guys, I have no idea who either one of these guys is. I do watch the UFC, but I don't get to watch the undercard as much, so that's why I don't really know many of these fighters. But just from looking at the records, let me see. Brazil versus USA, I'll pick USA, so I'm going to go with Calvin Kattar. We'll see if I'm right. Michael Chesay, I've heard his name said so many times, but I just can't say it, versus Anthony Pettis. Big fan of Showtime, and I'll have to go with Showtime. I think a lot of people are counting him out because of course, the performances against RDA, Eddie Alvarez, and also, of course, recently Dustin Poirier, where he got hurt during the fight and he had to stop it. But I think against Michael Chesay, and I think he's going to win. I think he'll win by head kick or he'll win by body kick, but he's definitely going to win by TKO. Mark my words. Al Iaquinta is back in the UFC, baby, against Paul Felder. I'm going to have to go with Al Iaquinta. That guy's a monster, and I think definitely KO, first round or second round. Carolina Kowalski versus Felice Herrig. I'll have to go with Felice Herrig just because I think she's super hot, and I like those pictures she does for that tire company, Toyo Tires, I believe, or some tire company. But it works. It works, and I'm pulling for her. I hope she wins. Her last name reminds me of Heath Herring also, so I like her. We'll see what happens. Ray Borg versus Brandon Moreno. I have to go with. I'm gonna go with Ray. No, I'll go with Brandon Moreno from Mexico. He's gonna beat USA. Ray Borg, I was gonna say him because he's already faced Demetrius Johnson, but he was doing good up until he got. I think he's the one that got that crazy armbar that Demetrius got him in. But I'm gonna go with Brandon Moreno. Joe Lozon versus Chris Macher. I'll go with Joe Lozon. because that guy, I think people are counting him out. They think his time's up, just like Diego Sanchez. But I don't know. I think Joe Lozon has more in the gas tank, and he has more years to go. I think he's going to win this fight by TKO or probably by first or second round. Evan Dunham versus Oliver Albin Mercier. I'm just going to say the names fast. I think I say it better when I do that. So I'm going to go with Evan Dunham. USA versus Canada. Yeah, definitely Evan Dunham. The guy's a grinder. He's a veteran, and I think he's going to win. He's going to be able to, his experience is going to help him in this one. Alex Caceres versus Artem Lobov. And we know Alex Caceres was the guy who was, always wore that yellow suit like Bruce Lee did in Game of Death, or like Kill Bill, Uma Thurman. But he's a good fighter too. He's 13-11 though. Wow. Versus Artem Lobov. He trains with Conor McGregor. I think Artem Lobov is going to win. He's finally going to shine and show Conor McGregor that it's helping that he trains with him. Beck Rawlings. Here's the girl that reminds me of. She reminds me of Felice Herrig a lot. But she's going up against Ashley Evans Smith, and I got to go with Beck Rawlings. She's also a very interesting and awesome fighter. Devin Clark versus Michael Rodriguez. I'll have to go with the Mike Rodriguez because I think he might be Blaxican, and I did nothing against blacks. I mean, I like Devin Clark is cool too, but I'll go with Mike Rodriguez. Just 9-2 versus 8-2, so 9-2 wins, obviously. Zabit Magomed Sharipov versus Kyle Bokachinek. It's Russia versus USA, guys, before we get the actual Russia versus USA with Khabib versus Holloway. So I'm going to have to go with USA all the way, baby. Or no, you know what? I'm going to go with the Russian because I think that it's going to be momentum on the Russian side in the beginning because they're so excited that Khabib's going to win or going to be fighting for the title, and they're all excited because they love him like Fedor. So they're going to be going for Zabit. I think he'll win by a bit, and probably by decision or something. But yeah, I think he's going to win maybe by TKO just to get Khabib riled up. And guys, for the fight with Khabib and Max Holloway, guys, I'm going to go with Max Holloway. I think he has the opportunity to do what Conor McGregor did, and I think he is going to do it. And the whole fight that everybody wants to see with Khabib and Conor probably is not going to happen. I think Max Holloway and Conor 2 is going to happen. And he's going to have both belts. He's going to have the featherweight belt. He's going to have the lightweight belt, and he's actually going to do what Conor. If Conor's not back by the time, or if Conor's not back soon, I think he's going to be the first guy to defend each title and actually be a defending champion of each weight class, and then Conor, or maybe even before. If Conor wants to fight him before, cool. I'd love to see the fight with both of them. But I think Max Holloway is going to be. He's taller. I think he's probably going to have the reach. Yep, and I think that he's also going to be stronger because he's going up in weight class. He's going to be heavier. I think it's going to be hard for Khabib to get in there because Max Holloway strikes, and I think that he will TKO him by round 3. Thank you for watching, guys. UFC 223. Can't wait to see it. I'm more excited than I was before, and it's going to be an awesome, awesome card. Check it out.